Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. My name is Isidore Petit. What can I do for you?
Good evening. My name is Gus McPherson. I'm a journalist for the Clairon de Paris. Could I ask you a few questions concerning the death of 2 American tourists? Name of White. That's it. White with a Y, not an I.
Sir, you work for a vulgar little rag. Your newspaper is a hodgepodge of lies and innuendos.
I'm sorry. I'm not employed directly by the Clairon. I'm a freelance reporter.
Those newspapers could not care less about the damage they cause. Such words tarnish the reputation of our establishment. Who will want to rent that room now?
Are you going to turn this room into a tourist attraction? Spend a spine-tingling night in the room where a horrific murder was committed?
Mr. McPherson, a bit of restraint, please. 2 innocent people met their death in that room. One must not joke about such matters. Besides, we already had Madame Loiseau as an attraction on that floor, and that is definitely enough.
Mrs. Loiseau. Who is she, the chambermaid? Did she see anything the night of the murder?
You know, Madame Loiseau sees things that nobody else can see. If you want any more information, contact the police directly. I'm afraid that I can do no more for you. You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
I'm sure the front desk clerk will not like to see me going upstairs alone. Must find a ruse or persuade him to come up with me.
What can I get you, sir?
My name is McPherson. I'm a private detective.
You really are a private eye, just like in the movies. You've even got the hat, and you're American too. Oh, Private Dick.
Do the police have a suspect?
I told them what I knew. I definitely saw someone by the window all evening. That is my testimony. They can do what they like with it.
Be a good guy. Tell me in detail what you saw that night.
I don't know any more than that. I know that Petit, the Hotel Orphée receptionist, was chewing the fat with Inspector Lebrun. He seemed to know quite a lot about the White case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Are you quite sure, Mr. Beauvais, that you have not seen him?
Yes, I'm sure. Go on, Mrs. Elway, go home. We will take care of this, I promise.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Beauvais. You're so kind. The next time I'm at Cézanne, I'll bring you back a nice bottle of red wine. That's a promise. Goodbye, then.
Goodbye. Ah, a little bottle of red. Come on, next. Can I help you?
You're a policeman. My name is Gus McPherson. I'm an American journalist. I would like to ask you a couple of questions about the Orphée case.
I do not deal with you journalist types.
I understand. It's always intimidating to come up against a journalist. In any case, I'm not supposed to speak to the police either. Shall we make a little exception?
Does your rag have a name?
You know, it's a newspaper in New York, the New York News.
I have a brother-in-law who works at the news. Do you know him? Jules Quincampoix.
Quincampoix. Yes, of course. Good old Jules. Your cousin is a nice guy.
Caught. Liar. I do not have any relatives in New York.
Look, anyone can make a mistake. I don't know this guy, it's true. But what does it matter? I have an article to write. I have to wire my piece to New York tomorrow morning or I'll lose my job. Come on, be a good sport.
Forget it. It is baking in here, isn't it? You would not happen to have anything to drink, would you? Just one for the road. And my little gift? You do not have it? Fine then. Get lost.
Sir?
Give me a bottle of red.
Full of promises and empty-handed, huh?
I do happen to have a little something for you. An amazing bottle of red wine. You cannot say no to that, officer. Don't you feel a little thirsty?
Great. Here is the pen pusher giving it another go.
Goodbye.
Yeah, right. Goodbye.
Dr. Kaufner's office, please.
It's over there, right at the end of the hall. Make sure you don't get lost.
Come in.
Dr. Frank Kaufner?
What can I do for you, sir?
I'm Gustav McPherson. I've come here to ask you a few questions about the White case.
Tell me what you want to hear. So, you are investigating the incident at the Hotel Orphée?
Yes, Doctor. Your professional opinion on the murders.
Did Inspector Lebrun send you, Mr. McPherson?
Yes, more or less. I'm here on behalf of Inspector Lebrun.
You are investigating out of personal interest. What, Mr. McPherson, is your interest in this case?
A person who wishes to remain anonymous is paying me to investigate.
We all have a reputation to protect.
Appearances can sometimes be deceptive, Dr. Kaufner. That's why I would like to clarify this situation by gathering as much information as possible.
I am at your disposal, Mr. McPherson. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about the scene of the crime? The police have released very few details.
The man who committed this murder, and I stress the fact that he is a man, is probably quite overwhelmed at the present time. This crime was committed under the influence of a sudden impulse, without premeditation. His act is now haunting him. He is not himself.
And you think the motive for the murder was theft?
That is what the police say. But does the official version reflect Inspector Lebrun's true opinion? This murder could be the first in a long series of crimes.
Might the murderer regret his actions and turn himself in?
Beyond the conscious, Mr. McPherson, lies the unconscious. We all too often ignore the monsters that lurk there.
You are implying that the murderer is a victim too, Dr. Kaufner.
We are all victims of the secrets of our soul, Mr. McPherson. This criminal is no exception. We are all victims of our past. And do you have a suspect, Mr. McPherson?
I am on the same trail as the police, only I am surer of my hunch.
It has been a most pleasant conversation, but unfortunately, I cannot afford you more time, Mr. McPherson. I hope I have satisfied your curiosity. I am very busy, sir. You should speak to Inspector Lebrun for more detailed information.
Great. Here is the pen pusher giving it another go.
Am I right in thinking Inspector Lebrun is in charge of the investigation on the White case? Would it be possible to meet with him? That way we can compare our information.
He is not seeing anybody. Just make a statement.
I've got some information on the Orphée murders. Exceptional information.
Fresh info? You are better informed than us, are you?
If you have no objection, I would rather talk about this with Inspector Lebrun alone.
If you want to speak to him, you have to confide in me first, Sonny.
I give up. Could you at least give him my name? McPherson, Gus McPherson, and tell him I need to see him as soon as possible.
You're wasting your time, Mr. McPherson. Lebrun specifically told me no visitors. Between me and you, He is already pretty busy sorting out all these statements. If we could have a picture of the suspect, our life would be easier.
I've read the police report, but I'm sure you can tell me a little more. What are your impressions on the White case?
This case is pretty messy. A foul murder, unclear motive. If Inspector Lebrun needs a hand, he will ask me. For the time being, he is managing on his own like a big boy. That is all I know.
Of course, if Inspector Lebrun is surrounded by guardian angels like you, he can't be making much headway with his investigations.
If he's not making headway in his investigation, it's his own fault. Lebrun is bending over backwards trying to find the mysterious visitor the Whites had that evening, just before the murder. He's not even cross-checking the statements.
When I read the file, I noticed the name of a certain doctor, Frank Kaufner. What can you tell me about him?
Dr. Kaufner is our expert. Forensic scientist and, above all, psychiatrist. The sort of guy who prefers the company of madmen and corpses to the likes of you and me.
You don't seem to be overly fond of Dr. Kaufner. Is there any particular reason for that?
The chief of police himself imposed Dr. Kaufner on us. It's not going to help matters any.
Goodbye.
Yeah, right. Goodbye.